Thank you so much, Alex. Yes, we are definitely ready to get into this one. It's Cash. It's another great best of three. It's another great day at the Major here in Katowice. AVANGAR versus TYLOO. This one's an interesting one to me because AVANGAR, I said they could sneak through. Against TYLOO, absolutely possible. But they've also been super impressive on the TYLOO side.
Yeah, not what we're expecting at all. We know they've got a decent mechanical skill, but here comes some aggression from TYLOO towards the squeaky door. You don't see this too often on a pistol round. Somebody getting set up in a promising position here. Well, James detects him on the other side. He won't get an opportunity to take him down, but at least gets information that their aggression has been found towards that squeaky position as they rotate back towards B here. They still have one smoke and a Molotov. It looks like they'll be using that on the bomb site. Smoke CT spawn and try and split through those vents.
Vents indeed. Two players inside of the site. Bentet already holding into the corner. Doesn't want to reveal himself too soon. Xcurate therefore has to take away aggression, and they want to try and rotate in from heaven as well. No smoke up there that I saw. It might have been in deep through the door. It certainly wasn't protruding on the other side. No, there isn't. But Summer, he took the long way up because the flames were on the ramp. He had to go above the boxes, and that allowed them to find the kill on Bentet, and now plant the bomb as well. So it becomes a 4-on-3. Kit for Summer, keep that in mind. Somebody's tagged at threes. Only got a decoy to work with, if we want to call it that. That's some fast shots. Jane Buster and Kicker all finding pistol headshots to make it now 1-0 AVANGAR.
Nice reactions there from AVANGAR. The fact that they actually detect that CT aggression towards squeaky door, they know there's been a firm focus towards that side of the map. They get that mid-control, they get a player in towards the vents, a nice basic execution, good pincer, and managing to take them down together, hitting all the shots on the retake there. No problem whatsoever for AVANGAR, keeping a healthy amount of players alive as well. We'd assume it's the full eco on the side of TYLOO this time. Nothing purchased at all. They'll be buying up next round, so we've got a couple of MAC-10s here, 3 rifles as well. My favorite setup to these sort of rounds in middle is going to be a main focus here. Smoke towards the connector, and you can see no real presence there apart from that short control. There is one player towards sandbags as well. If they get a couple of kills out of that, it'll be great. But you can see this MAC-10 doing absolute work, farming the casters. Fitch will be able to find all 3 potentially. He will be taken down by attacker, but the round is theirs. Just accurate now. We'll have to try and steal a kill away a bit. I don't think that's going to be possible, especially at this range. He has been detected, taken down, but they are going to buy up here. So they could afford the AWP right now. They didn't buy a single thing in that second round there. So AWP is available, whether it be glass cannon, nothing else. If it's worth it, that's up to them. I don't think it is. We'll see whether they're that way inclined. As they take their time now, AVANGAR certainly have the advantage here, knowing that the incendiaries might not be available, the AWP might not be out. They might go for something very quick once again and try and use that MAC-10 just to bust open a site here. As you can see, the Orcs out in full force. You're going to see a lot of those over this best of 3. AVANGAR currently 2-0, but can TYLOO answer back right here as we enter this first gun round. 3 players towards middle on the CT side.
Interesting choice of Molotov from the T side so that they can't flash in and go for that uncharacteristic peek. Usually it's done with smoke, but it's not common. Smoke now comes down from the CTs. They'll wait it out. Hogs up already. Chain with the MAC-10 still. Prison sets for a smoke that's going to go toward the backside of the A site. Double boost, potentially. So split highway and go for a main. That smoke, if I'm not mistaken, lands top side of highway, so it should isolate the vision. Summer's going to have to commit to the fight. Molotov's actually going to force him off it, so rotating back, they didn't actually throw that smoke that I saw them lining up. So see if that works or not, because if the boost's already down, they've cleared out the vents. Fitch gets into the cubby, and it certainly was ready to hold the angle. They've cleared it, but it wasn't a deep enough Molotov to force him out. I've actually seen some teams do that by design, where they leave players in there and they think, oh, I can get away with this. Well,
sure.
You can't.
Well, somebody trying to get a little bit of information there from the vent and cost him his life. 40 seconds here. We saw that B split before. Looks like the exact same player will come through. The MAC-10 to lead the charge. A few players of our helmets as well, and it's just Bentet on the side. He's a great aimer, has the AUG in hand, but this is such a difficult position to hold. You can see the Molotov coming through, his teammates dropping. Wow. It's another round for AVANGAR. Great skill and good coordination there as well.
I thought that should have been an absolute kill with the AUG. Did the damage, but didn't keep firing, and then they both walked out. He was even scoped in with it. Do you want to call that an advantage or disadvantage? Who knows? People have been going with the regular rifles for years in the same angle, so it is what it is. Summer's got Kicker down, so at least holding on to 2 of the weapons thus far. bomb, though, soon to detonate, and AVANGAR, as you say, they're going to go up 3-0, so it's the B side. Twice now they've had trouble holding. It's been very explosive from AVANGAR. We know they've got aim stars on both sides, to be fair, but certainly on AVANGAR.
Well, that's just a great call from them, reading the fact that they don't have all the utility there. So like they have the incendiaries, they get that mid-control early, knowing the fact that orbs probably won't be there as well. B-split is just the perfect tactic to call as well, especially you've got that MAC-10 that can just go through the vents first. They manage to coordinate, time it very, very well. And the fact they had a 5 versus 4 as well. You get that sort of advantage early on in the round. Just focusing a bomb site of all 5 players and capitalizing upon that advantage is the perfect way to approach the situation. So there we go. It looks like 2 players will survive for TYLOO, but that's going to be Summer and Attacker. They've got an M4 and all between them. Here are the entry kills. You can see Krisen getting it done. That second shot was beautiful as they find the 3-0 here. AVANGAR off to a flying start on Cash. A map we haven't seen too much of, just to know. Still no Dust 2 played so far in this major.
It's pretty shocking, actually.
It used to be an absolute staple, this iconic map of Counter-Strike of all time, and I haven't seen it once over 20-plus maps.
Every one of their dogs played it so many times that it's really hard to establish anything new on it. And it is a bit of a pug-heavy map, given the layout. Nice shot from Fitch, just tapping through the smoke. Somebody walked directly into that. Gifted 1 to AVANGAR's side, which, to be fair, they've been finding most of them anyway, so being gifted 1 is lovely from their scenario, but makes things worse for TYLOO. Still the 2 guns to work with. They've gone aggressive as well, still with mid on the other side, the opposing side this time. They're also hunting toward a main for information, if nothing else.
So far, so good for AVANGAR. Opening pick. Plenty of time remaining. Player boosted up. Here's a flash to allow Kiket to go a little bit more aggressive here on the boosted spot. He'd get flashed by his teammates here. Attacker, that is a classic one and done position. And there's trade potential here. He should go down, but they don't want to challenge it straight away. But there it is. They maintain the one-man lead here. 1 player boosted toward the Stroud spot. And James, we know how capable he is with the AWP. He has that now. Just waiting for any sort of reaction here from the CTs. We look at the mini-map, you can see the B bomb site actually completely open right now. No one there whatsoever. And that's exactly what AVANGAR are heading towards. They have smokes for CT and upper. I don't see any way that AVANGAR give this round up now. At this point, might as well try and recover the AUG from middle, save the M4. As sum up, that's the rifle removed, so that save idea has gone out the window. This is Fitch just selling anything he can towards A. And it seems like TYLOO will be dropping like flies at this point. Just 1 player remaining as he continues to find headshot after headshot. 4 kills so far. He might even get the ace here. He's low HP. But he's got a great position. It didn't fully check and commit to the forklift. So down he goes, but his job was thoroughly done there, man.
Absolutely so. He'll be a little bit disappointed that he got flanked out by the last player so easily, considering all the work that he had done, but he was so low in HP, even the duel would have been challenging. Exer gets an AK for this, and that's all he wants at this point in time. He'll try and hold it in behind quad.
This is one of the few maps we can say is slightly favored on the T side. Probably the only one in the map pool we currently have, so far so good for AVANGAR. Loss bonus getting to the maximum now for TYLOO after this round. Hopefully going to save this AK as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we a couple of orbs bust. He will find the final CT there. Great work in that department, so that makes things even more troublesome going forward. But like we said, lots of money now on the CT side. And we're certainly going to see the AWPs come out, but can they start putting rounds on the board? AVANGAR, a team that's been getting better and better over the months. And that's the initial kill from Fitch. That was a little bit ridiculous. Just tapping through the smoke. Managed to get 4 in total. A very basic approach so far. We haven't seen any flashy technical executions here. There's great aim, good timings, and core fundamentals of Counter-Strike all coming together. It's my favorite style to watch. James still in the AWP. He hasn't even had to go off yet. It's all been about the fraggers, the riflers. As we get into it, we do have the AWP and the double on the CT side. So some are now working out whether he's going to get a helmet. Doesn't need it. Better off just to get the Kevlar smoke flashbang combo. So now you got 2 turrets. Orbson go towards middle of the start, but it's a challenging position to play because normally the connector's smoked off. You could have a lot of flashbangs heading towards that white box area. Normally going to see them holding towards quads, B side. Someone might be boosted behind the smoke. He's got a player there ready to back him up if that smoke comes through. But he actually has full vision for now. An incendiary towards a boost spot. You can see Kira here with the stationary position towards B.
Yeah, and this is a big change up because the other player that has been on B, he's going to get there. He's gone through mid to get there this time. It's been Ted. He's 0-4 right now, as is somebody. And we've seen less so with somebody, but certainly with Bintet, he's had the opportunity to change that. Certainly in the pistol round, as well as then the first gun round. Both times they took him down on entry at B. So that's an adjustment they have to make to get the op in position.
Well, they went for the van boost at the very beginning of the round, seeing that a little bit more often these days. Fitch will run the gauntlet through the flames in middle, and Bentet's actually ready to challenge in the vents, even though he got Molotov'd out. He drops the smoke, stays up there for now. Is he going to challenge again? It's not a good idea. Neither's that. Some are exposed. You can see them falling apart at this point. Communication a little bit off. That smoke dropped in the vents really didn't help Bentet out at all. Couldn't back up his teammate, who assumed he was safe, and now trying to reclaim a frag. Holding on top of the boosted box there. And again, it's AVANGAR in a 5-on-4. Plenty of time remaining, just waiting until the CTs drop their utility, which there isn't much left of, and they should make a coordinated 5-man move in the next 10 seconds or so.
Here's an interesting note as well, considering I just mentioned the fact that Bentet's failed so far to shut down B. Fitch has every kill on the opposing side on entry for AVANGAR. He's got every entry kill so far. He's gone this time, though. Somebody in Bentet, the two players that didn't have kills, both of them push out and find them now. Somebody's was from Highway, and the entrance from a main. With the smoke down toward his position, tries to elevate himself on catwalk to take advantage of it. 11 seconds, he can actually swing in and deny the ball. He's going to try to do exactly that, but Kiekert shows G2 how you actually babysit a bomb planter. As Excurate pulls one back, bomb still ticks. It's a 2-on-2, and AVANGAR can still win this one, despite that it very quickly could have fallen apart with a single kill.
Here we go then, the 2 versus 2. There is a kit available, but no utility. This sniper has to deliver as it gets closer and closer to the forklift. There is going to be an opportunity. Spots the elbow. This shot has to land quickly, which it does. 2 versus 1. It's at the Buster, holding a quad. He's got the Molotov. He throws on the bomb now. He actually wins the round, but he's just in the pure frags here, and he gets the final headshot as well. Like I said, that Molotov available could have bounced off the wall on top of the bomb, but he's not worried about that whatsoever. Wants to send a message out to TYLOO then. It's AVANGAR continuing their strong performance so far on the T side, and they've got plenty of cash. Buster almost on $13,000, and even with the max loss bonus now, TYLOO $3,400 per player. Everyone goes down. They save nothing. They're going to have to take a partial buy map. It's getting very rough out there for them.
Absolutely is. TYLOO, considering they were impressive, destroyed Cloud9. Nearly had a chance to go 3-0. Now struggling in the 1-on-1 game. In fact, both Chinese teams had a chance to advance so far. Excuse me, I should say the 2-on-1 game. Kiekert still from A main. Krizen's going to be off to his left. He'll clear quad while Kiekert goes all the way around and is crossed cleanly to check forklift. A very passive hold so far on the CT side. No one peeking. It is a bit of aggression toward mid. Somebody's up close with the pistol. Flawless though, 5-0. That's pretty remarkable. We've got a little bit of money held over for it as well. Obviously the last round was a bit closer. That was probably the closest round we've had yet from TYLOO, as it left just 2 alive. Actually, excuse me, 1 at the end, but rebuy needed. Still 3 players in a healthy margin, and against the pistol so far, keeping the distance. Look at them, they're still just sat back in the garage. They don't even want to enter and go into a crossfire. Let's see what picks they can find first. That's the approach.
Well, that's the way to do it. Make sure you use every opportunity to be as methodical as possible. Keep displaying teamwork. Use the grenades. You've got plenty of money at this point. You can just drop those smokes, Molotovs. Sure, they've only got pistols, but don't risk anything. A team like TYLOO, so much mechanical skill available to them. You don't want to take any chances on any segment of the map whatsoever. 6-0 AVANGAR. Doesn't get much better than this. Will we see the double AWP set up again? Didn't yield the success they were looking for, but it did come down, like he said, to the closest opportunity they've had, the 1 versus 1. Problem is, and 1 versus 1, he got the AWP in hand, really wasn't ideal. Just looking for any sort of exit kills here, but the problem is, it won't do that much damage. Even if they take 1 AK away here, they're not going to recover it in time. And at that point, each player on AVANGAR is getting $3,500 extra, so with 5 surviving, money really isn't an issue. It looks like everyone will be absolutely fine. Nothing to recover on the CT side, but they keep their armor at least, so a little bit less investment required into the next round. And will we see the double AWP once again? AVANGAR at this point can start having a little bit more fun, maybe some faster approaches. Been quite slow, quite default, like we said, nothing too technical so far. And I guess they don't need to change things up, but will we see the tactical timeout from TYLOO here as they address the situation? Not looking too good, no one really stepping up so far.
2 timeouts used already, and we're pretty early in this game, 6 rounds in. But 2 of them used because all those rounds going one direction, and it's not theirs. Fitch leads the way. He was slow on day 1.
He was.
He was very, yeah, what was it? I think it was 1 in 15 or something along those lines.
It was like 3 and 18 at one point. I remember looking at that.
And his ADR was down to 13 at like round 12. Did pull it back somewhat, but not what you'd expect from him. This is much better.
Oh, he's got the 8 kills. 4 of those are against those EKID opponents, but they were still influential frags and won in the round. So can't take them away from him. But here it is. We're coming into the next round now. Just a single orb. That's in the hands of Accurate, and we'll see Attacker there with the Orc. They've actually got a few M4s out here as well. This is nice. They're going to change the pace. Like I said, you've got them adapting to you, questioning their setups. Now you're just going to drop an execution, probably a very basic one, straight away. You can see 2 players towards Squeaky, 3 at A main. You see the smoke towards Highway, Molotov's a quad, flash over, and just try and trade out. It's working so well for them so far. Let's keep it up.
Fine from Attacker. Summer jumps up on top of the box, gets away. Attacker's still forward on it, no cover, and finds 2 because there's just so much chaos left and right with the utility Fitch. He's going to have to fly forward from the flames. Already got one behind him, Flash, that's beyond. But smokes have extinguished the flames behind. He's put another one out to keep himself alive. He just wants to watch toward the truck if anyone enters toward the right side, if anyone crosses over to the wall. Unsure if they have or not, he's going to spray into it instead, but he's the only one directly inside of the site. And I think he's I thought he might consider just getting back at that point in time. Completely locked in, by the way. Attacker's going to take down Fitch because they've got one in mid-garage. So even if they rotate back over, that's covered off. So James pretty much desperately needs this shot to give them any chance in the round.
Yeah, the chances, though, very small, even more so now. But if Buster can find a couple of kills, these will be influential. You see the money still very low on the CT side. But it looks like Buster will be removed, finally. Some success there for TYLOO, and that's the set piece at the very start of the round. They haven't done that before. AVANGAR is trying to change the pace up somewhat, but impressed. The kind of change of setup there from TYLOO as well. As soon as they detect the smokes, actually this play here, getting in front of the action here. He saw a little gap in the smoke there, capitalized upon it, jumping around the bomb site and managed to get 3 in total. Very, very impressive stuff there. As continues to deliver the pain with the rifle, but they need to find a couple more like that. This is a monumental round with the CTs. Give this one up there, fully reset, 7-1 down. It could be an absolutely disastrous half. As we go back to the default now, AVANGAR started to run out of cash. They'll have one more buy in them if they give this one up. There's Jane. We'll go for the Guardian run boost. Gets him onto the barrels, then he can look towards the checker room there. No one detected. There is a little bit of presence there, though. You can see the orb on the other side, just waiting for them to come around the corner.
Yeah, they haven't really put as much pressure on B as they did of the first 2 rounds, the gun round and the pistol round, the first 2 important rounds. And that's when they started to bring out that up to try and adjust. So 1 win for TYLOO, double up setup. Does mean they can be a little more confident in holding the main angle as well. The problem being, of course, they face a reset with a massive investment. They might as well go for it, I suppose, because it's a win situation and that's all that they can afford. Excurate, aware now that they are going to join. Gets out. James already got it covered off. Buster was completely confident in his teammate as well because he was already around the corner as if he knew that shot was going to be hit. If he was peaked, he was going down, he would stay alive. But Bintet's come back through the vents. That's going to give Buster and James a way out of the round. Only one way now to go, and that's back over toward A as a result. 36 seconds, pretty much have to hit this site.
Very difficult play there from Bintet to pull off. The fact he gets both those kills out of the vent as well. Lucky he got the rifle off first, and James couldn't respond. His set up like a turret, time depleting at this point. The 20-second mark coming through. It looks like Tyler might have done enough at this stage, but the flashbang isn't a huge deal as he holds towards quad. Detected now, but Summer delivers an absolutely stunning headshot there. It's Crizzen, who can still get a plant by the looks of things. He'll get the bomb down. He needs to be careful here.
Yeah, he does, because he's allowed them closer. If one was peeking, great, he gets away with it, but all he's really done is, fair enough, got the bomb down, but secured the fact that he wouldn't have any chance in the post plant as they were all over him. So another round for TYLOO, and again, I say that was a desperately needed win. Double up investment facing a full reset.
Yeah, well, the bomb goes down, so like we said, one more buy there for AVANGAR. But yeah, trying to juke them out there with the fake plan, hoping a beta CT round, considering the time was so low. Be right, ultimately just led to his demise. But this was a great play. Bintet, the fatty, is so calm under pressure. The Molotov gets him out of position, hits the first kill, then luckily gets the AWP on the second. He manages to funnel the back towards A, but they are more than ready with the AWP in position. Goes 6-2 now. still not comfortable. The CT side need to break them down to an eco first before they can start feeling confident. You can see an attacker and somebody there, $300. Even less so now as they buy their utility. Tactical timeout from AVANGAR, I believe, at this point, just because they have to distribute the wealth. They had Buster, who had around 10k, a couple of players a lot less than that. So dropping AKs, there is an AWP on the ground as well. Got everything they need.
Seen that op from Jame work over toward B. Last round to get the opener, but they were shut down by Bintet. We haven't seen it much other than that on the T side. They're going to go for the exact same boost you pointed out again. You called it the Guardian boost, rightfully so. It's quite clever. Hard to hit the boosted or run boosted target, and then he lands off of where the traditional mark would be for crosshair placement. Smoke down. It's going to cover all the way across. Excret so close up to the vent as well. Okay, there is a bit of a gap, and I was going to say, I thought maybe they might be trying to get Bintet back inside of the vents to support somebody, but he still has... there's no one on white box. That's a one and done. It doesn't even get that far. There's no one else to support mid, and now they're going to rotate a player out of A. Summer has to rotate Z connector. Smoke off in front of him already. If they attack the A site, they can isolate. Doesn't look like they're going to, but they could have had a chance to isolate onto attacker. Good favor from Excret. Finally gets one of the AWP on the CT side.
Fitch just walking out middle with no flashes. Nothing really down there. They're willing to take the 1v1 duel. Excret, though, he does bring it back to the 4-on-4. They needed that. He had to go a little bit more aggressive. Easy shot through in the end. Another B splits. They have a couple of smokes. Molotov this side if they want to deploy that, but another fantastic shot there delivered to the AWPer. It's now going to be Bintet. Nice incendiary to buy them some time. Does he want to try and push this smoke? That's the question. Sprays now. That suggests he definitely won't have to go for a reload and whether his teammates to rotate in. Meanwhile, the bomb's going to be planted. Advantage towards AVANGAR, and at this point, desperate wallbangs to be attempted. If anything lands, then maybe they'll go for it, but right now, 2 flashes and an HE, you might just consider saving. And I think they definitely are.
Yeah. Second you said it was already turned and walking back down heaven. Typically, that's the first sign. So 7-2, and the save's the right call. Again, we talked about it 2 rounds ago. They won their first, so they would only be 2 rounds into winning ways and coming off of very little money. They need to hold on to these. They'll be able to force buy out as well, because there's enough for Excret to... Not full. He's going to have... Oh, well, I just saw it, so I can tell you without doing the math. He's going to have 40-50. I was going to say about $4,000.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to purchase a little bit. They'll throw one gun over to him. It was his teammate that went down that had... Jame, I think, that had... Or excuse me, somebody that had way less than that. So we'll see what they come up with for him as well, because they'll have to throw out 2 guns. It'll be a little light.
That play there, you can see there's no smokes down, no flashes deployed. He's literally just walked out at the mid-entrance and taken such a gamble there. But you got to respect it, and players are so confident in their ability. That's what I talk about star players. If they have a good start, they have like some pistol kills, some anti-eco frags, they start swelling in confidence and they're willing to make plays like that and hit their shots, and that's how you get the very best out of them. This is an aggressive play with the flashbangs towards A main. Quite a pitiful one, I have to say. The flashbang wasn't deep enough. Actually got naded at the start, really should have bailed out at that point. But now it's AVANGAR just running over TYLOO. They might as well commit to this at this point. They know somebody's isolated there. There's not really much of a chance of him getting multiple frags. Drops a decent flashbang. He's going to have to find the heads, though, as more and more utility is getting thrown in his direction.
Back, but almost got out by that. Luckily, it's not an op when you do that. You still have a crosshair with this gun, so it's not like he had the timing completely off, gets away with it. Fitch and Buster are going to go over toward Toxic. They've got no one in B. It's wide open.
It's wide open. And we know the way Fitch has been playing. Look, again, if it's by himself, no trade potential. It shouldn't be the right play, but he's called it perfectly. Like, he had no one with him and just makes his way in with the bomb as well. If that goes wrong, that could be the round. But he's feeling it, and it's perfectly done. He's going to have the plan now. They're going to have to save again. They've got nothing to retake this, so AVANGAR shutting down the A approach, and that's why TYLOO want to try and get a kill at the very start of the round. They know they haven't got absolutely everything they need to win this round. They're going for the aggressive push towards A main. Ideally, maybe 2 people do that, so you can get a trade if it goes wrong. The AWP's very good in that position, but the flashbang wasn't quite deep enough, and the T's looked very comfortable and aware of the possibility. So 4 players survive for AVANGAR. They're going to win this half on the T side very early on. But once again, TYLOO saving 3 weapons. It's not the end of the world here. Money not going to be great, of course, but Crizin might be able to take a couple of players down with him. And players behind the forklift, he won't be able to spot him straight away. Just going to be sneaking around here. If he checks forklift, he's got a kill available to him. There it is, but surely the CT doesn't repeat this, doesn't need the kill.
Indeed. Crizin can't afford to just sprint directly toward him either. That's too easy. So 8-2 now, still T-side of Cash. Probably the only fully T-sided map still.
Yeah, the only one. And it's down to like the smallest of percents as well.
The reason I hesitate is because Dust 2, but we don't see it enough to really have a proper sample size.
Well, it's not been played once here in this entire tournament, so yes, you're absolutely correct. It's still a map that's developing, so I think the problem is, like, if we really
Weird
talked
to say
about
that, right?
If we really broke it down, it's because it's a map that can be quote-unquote random because it spawns and you could get great opportunities there. We'll get into that later. Somehow a B push has yielded a frag towards Buster. They just rush in towards B storage there and take one down. They did indeed. Xkira goes down to 5 HP, but that's worth it. They have to make those sort of plays in these particular rounds. They haven't invested much, but they have got enough to win. So they deflay 3 players towards B at the start, and here comes Pickup. And they're making a lot of these strange solo maneuvers, AVANGAR. It is working for them, but there is a trade there.
It has worked for them. It doesn't necessarily... Well, Crisin's going to pull it off again in a one-on-one inside of the A site.
No backup at all.
Absolutely. I'm wondering if that's overconfidence,
Yeah.
or maybe just getting very lucky with that. If they start to rely on the fact that TYLOO's been winning the duels and suddenly their aim comes back to fruition, then they might have problems and have to adjust. But for now, it's fine. 8-2, 3-on-3, back over toward the A site. Fitch is going to wait and hold out in the middle. Easy kill on Xkira. He had very little HP to work with. Let's see how Summer works about things. Bomb not yet planted. Smoke down is going to make Summer easily able to cross over inside of the site. Doesn't actually want to push toward quad. And if he had, Crisin's there on very low HP. This could be more clever, though, because the fact that they've been anchoring inside of the site for so long and not identified that Summer snuck into the corner, he might be gifted a few kills, and he's got Bintet to trade off of as well. He can swing it out and try and go for the aggro. Exactly that. Bomb goes down, 24 seconds. Bintet might be the right man in the right place, but it's a one-on-one. Crizin missing, 18 seconds. Bintet now, I think, wins this all day long because he's got the HP to win the duel so long as he knows where he's coming from. There's only one way he can.
He's absolutely owned this. Yeah, 100% win for Bintet. No way Crizin can do this. I'm putting myself out there.
Pending a whiff.
It would have to be a monumental whiff, but 10 HP.
I'm just trying to back you up, just in case, Hank.
Well, there we go.
Out for you, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. Sometimes that has gone wrong for me. But there you go. That's a really nice, methodical play there. Thought out. They realize the only way we can win this. So we know they've got the A site here. We're going to sneak in and let's hope they commit towards A. They put 2 at the forklift there, and AVANGAR just weren't expecting it. And Bintet, once he manages to get the bomb, sneaks in towards A main, can still have vision of the C4 and shut it down. This was the initial push, and they have to make these sort of plays. When you've got 3 rifles and pistols, you need an early advantage, and that it works absolutely perfectly. So there we go. Haven't broken the money still. AVANGAR have not taken a single eco or partial buy just yet. They've had full guns every single time. Same boost coming through. Shame. Doesn't really pop off. He doesn't hit that player, but he does at least spot him. Good Molotov as well to flush him out.
Smoke down to take away that vision. He's going to use the gap as well. It's quite aggressive on the op in this position at Checker because he constantly goes up to underneath the vents, playing a much tighter angle, forcing AVANGAR to commit much further before he would even have vision. Whereas a lot stay more open, can see deeper into the tunnels, and as a result have more cover to fall back to, if you will. Safety and retreat, whereas Xkira in this position doesn't when he's that close up.
Oh, this is such a difficult spot for him to play, but it looks like he's maneuvered it perfectly. Still a 4-on-4, but not for long. Xkira has to go huge here. Remember the AWP, far off that one shot. Takes a few seconds to reset, but still, Summer's still alive towards middle. And AVANGAR, this is where they seem to struggle. The time's ticking away, and it's an equal situation. They haven't got that advantage. It seems like TYLOO can get a decent read on them and be prepared for whatever they bring to the party. They still have 3 smokes and a Molotov as well. They'll end up towards A, and what kind of setup have we got there? Just the one player on the side. So we've got Summer there with the easy backup, and he actually dings Fitch as well. Or actually takes him down to 15. He was already quite low. This is perfect. This is going to slow them down tremendously and do some damage towards James as well. They're going back towards B, but it seems very telegraphed at this point. Xkira with the AWP almost certainly going to land one here unless these flashbangs are perfect when the smokes are. He hits Krizen, and lucky not to get a kill there. That incendiary might be enough. They're low. They're going to scramble to get the bomb down here. Nice movement for Krizen, but not good enough. That's the round. No time to plant. Very good stuff. And TYLOO, when it is an equal situation, they seem to have a very firm understanding of what AVANGAR are going to try and do. Their utility usage making things very uncomfortable. They're dropping the incendiaries in the right spots. They have to access the bomb site through this area, and they're ready for it. That was excellent.
We'll see now if AVANGAR starts to adjust as well, because the shots are being hit by TYLOO. Not a lot of money to buy around the 2 guns saved, and with the lead, they might even consider just waiting that out. But it's interesting to think if they continue to peek one-on-one with no support, no backup, and TYLOO again starts to find their aim, this could fall apart quite quickly. At 8-4, they're already back into this. So they have not bought a single weapon to, I guess, be baited into that force buy situation where you think, oh, we've got an AWP, we've got an AK, let's just go in on it.
Well, they've already really got enough rounds on the T side, you know, so we'll see if this will at least get them some sort of access to get a bomb plant down. It's all down to Jame, really, so they'll take a very slow round here as the CT does whiz past. Jame didn't spot him, actually takes not too much damage there, just 11. Somebody has been playing a pretty decent mid-game for a solo player. He has been a bit of a nuisance. And TYLOO will have 3 players actually on the A site this time. No one towards Highway. They got an AWP watching that position as AVANGAR take their control. They got to retake A main. Somebody crashed in. Such a difficult position to maneuver in if it's only you there. But the incendiary will buy them time and hopefully funnel AVANGAR towards B once again, which is the bombs that they've been favouring out of the 2.
Krizen already working back in toward A main. 2 in mid, Jame on the AWP. If he goes through the vents, it's a straight duel with the other op, and they are going to go for a boost inside of A as well for the CT side. Haven't seen that yet. Problem is, they need to be well aware of the fact highway is open, and I think they are. The flash around, Summer will check it, because that's it's exactly this. Somebody, he now gets great response to get 2.
Yeah.
The fact that he does in that position, you're so vulnerable and wide open to Highway when you lose that position and boost it in the corner, especially when they know you're there. Kicker, good shot to at least get 1 back on the Deagle. Bomb goes down. This is still a reasonable round for AVANGAR. He survives the nade as well, just barely. Goes on 19 HP and wants to swing in around behind the red crate. Spots 1, but too late. Bintet already spotted him up and put him down.
Well, they get the bomb down. They get 3 kills. Remember, they came into that round with just pistols, the saved AWP and the AK, and made things very chaotic indeed. Bit of a death match there on the A side. The boosted player managing to get 2 kills, convincing ones as well. Great reactions, and always impressive to watch TYLOO in those sort of scenarios. Always seems so calm when he gets in the most frantic possible encounters. AVANGAR don't seem to have any qualms about pushing through smokes or flashbangs even by themselves, as we'll see them now actually be back in a more favourable position. I don't think Jame has the AWP this time. He'll be back to the AK. Very quiet game by his standards. We were very impressed by his performances in London last week. Can't really get going on cash. He's in 7 and 5 and only had, I think, 1 kill so far.
Shots down from mid. White box from somebody. Summer's there as well. He's going to rotate off it. They found the 1 kill they need to subside in mid, but watch Fitch again. Wants to peek it. Somebody had him that time.
It's a questionable decision. I understand he's feeling confident in his shots, but you're literally walking around. No flash, no teamwork there. He's just hoping he can nail a headshot.
And I can understand the confidence. He's at 14. Next closest teammate is now Kicker tied with Krizen on 8. No one on the other side is near that. He's pretty much the difference between the 2 teams at this point in time. But again, that luck's going to run out. If you're going to be constantly wanting to be X-peaking or going into choke point positions with no support, you're eventually going to get sorted.
Like, ideally, you'll see the top teams smoke Highway. You know, they'll smoke the top of Highway before they make that peak. Just so if there's anyone in a white box, you can actually focus on him, get towards Ticket Booth, then split A. But they're not even dropping that. They're literally just having Fitch walk around the corner. And
yeah, it's almost like an early lurk. Like, instead of us like getting distractions, why don't you lurk first?
Yeah.
And then we'll play off that.
And if he's hitting the shots, great. But then when he starts to struggle and it drops off and they're aware of what you're doing, it looks sometimes a little bit silly. Bintet, not really so good in those sort of positions, but he's done damage there. And you can see those low HP players having to run through the flames. The AWP, though, doesn't matter if they're low, he has to hit some quick scopes here. There's one. He'll burn. And they still have the advantage. Somebody pushing the smoke, as we'll see Buster left in the 2 versus 1.
Kicker alive as well, though, so he actually got 2 on that. I thought he was getting a little desperate with his op shots, but seemingly he had the timing right in the 3rd one. Buster's He is going to fake and try and bait. They're both in. Means he's pretty much committed to fighting at this point in time. He's lost track of where the shots came from. Good decision by somebody to jump up on the box as well in that position. And it's a win. TYLOO starting to close that gap. 8-5.
Yeah, you can see their individual skill coming out now and exploiting some of the mistakes and audacious picks from AVANGAR. Like I said, just a bit of basic utility usage on those tight choke points. I don't mind Fitch having the confidence to face those sort of angles, but you've got quad to worry about. Yellow boxes, heaven, ticket booth, white box. It's just such a difficult shot. You can see this position for somebody, that's such a free frag for him. He's not challenged at all there. As Excurop, I said he had to get a quick scope, and you're right, I didn't even catch that Molotov kill he got, but that was a lovely play just to finish things off. Buster overwhelmed as they scramble on top of the bomb site there, and we go into round number 15. AVANGAR certainly dropped off. They were doing so well. They were 6-0 up on the T side. It's still a good half, but if it goes 8-7, they will be disappointed, as TYLOO certainly looking a lot more efficient now, especially in the late game of the round. So what do we got for AVANGAR here? Not ideal. Couple of Deagles, couple of AKs, one Galil, and bare bones utility as they look to send 3 players towards that B area. Are they going to go for the boost again? It hasn't really found them a frag. They're just going to straight up challenge him. Bented this time going to be baited by Excurop, and he's ready for that same old Molotov that comes through. Gives himself a little one-way as well, dodging flashes. That's a really nice play from him. Bented doesn't have the face right now. They're so focused on the sniper, and you can see how that works out so efficiently. Bented, even though that smoke didn't look ideal, he actually has an exit strategy now. His teammates going to flash him out. You can see their teamwork looks fantastic.
Krizen's waiting for the retreat that we knew they had to cross back into the site. Good timing of the flash means he had to look away. They get in there safely, again, except for one. The AWP Excurop finds Krizen. Yeah, we're seeing this fall apart now. AVANGAR tactics weren't the strong. It was just a flying start.
It was absolutely just a flying start. I was saying this is such a basic approach to the game. It's not that technical. Maybe they're waiting until that momentum drops off before we see more of the coordination.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it. So, but that's the problem. If you're going to rely on those 1v1 peaks, as soon as they start falling shy, you have to identify that that's not common, that those work in the first place. So then you go back to the tactics, fall back on it, adapt, call a timeout maybe. They're not. They won't. One-on-one every time. Excurop's showing up now in spades. He's got 14 kills. He's matched Fitch. 3 rounds ago when I talked about the score, he wasn't anywhere near that. He was still on 8, so that's a huge finish for him on the AWP.
Really exciting half, and this one's just warming up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a break and be back with the action after this.
Second half, and it's really has changed a lot. We started with AVANGAR just running around having their way with things, quite literally one-on-one in every situation. Fitch, you touched on it a number of times, was walking out, very uncharacteristic to Counter-Strike at this level, and just finding kills. That stopped, that dried up. Double op was a big part of it, I will say, for TYLOO, but they pulled back from what was 6-0 and then 8-2 to 8-7.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've actually got a bit of an advantage, I'd say, going into the second half. The wind's in their sail, and we'll see if they can continue this momentum as we get into the pistol here. Look at that buy. They've got one smoke, one Molotov. The rest of the players with Glocks and Kevlar there, the bombs on Bentet, and all 5 players not going for the rush here, but a contact towards B. It's Buster to defend. He has got James, who's at the connector right now. They go in at this point. He's going to have a lot on his plate to deal with here. Buster needs to try and stay alive as long as possible. Takes a bullet to the face and surely goes down early. Great play from TYLOO. Nice attack there with the Molotov on the site. Means he has to be exposed, only limited in his options. That's where he can be positioned. And we'll see now. Kickert holding for his teammates. The smoke's still down. They have no kits, no flashbangs. Just have to try and find all 5 headshots very, very quickly.
Somebody a few tags. Fitch was the one he found, but didn't get the kill on. It's Kikert instead back in, but who else than Execute to show up 2 at that fast? I think he must have been shooting at one target. They were pretty much lined up for the Glock to find 2 headshots that quickly, and Bentet shows what happens when a USP gets in a terrorist's hands. 8 for TYLOO. It's tied. You said it, wind in their sails.
Yeah, absolutely. This is great now. We're all tied up, and it's a nice approach there. Nothing too complicated. 5 players towards B. You wave the initial push. It is quite a common strategy on the CT side to send maybe 2 or 3 players to B storage and a pistol round to get some information. But they waited for that. No aggression. Molotov on the site. Smoke and CT spawn. 5 players coming in. They didn't drop a player in the initial exchange there. That was the key as they get the bomb down. And AVANGAR actually did a very good job of finding multiple kills, but ultimately couldn't win the round. They'll take a full eco here. So it looks like TYLOO will take the lead for the very first time as they make their approach towards middle. It is a very standard play. It's an area when you know they've just got USBs. They're not going to be able to do much. Even though all 5 players are there, you're going to take them down as they focus on rifles here. 3 of those, albeit kills. 1 AK for Europe and those Max 10s as well. So they'll hold towards middle, see if they can get a bit of intel here. They've got a very valuable part of the map under control. Bomb just holding back, and they'll just go to somewhere together. You just want to go to a 5-man unit, no fakes required. Just make sure you don't risk giving up any sort of weaponry here. Shut the window, allow them to smoke spawn from the sunroom if they so desire. They only have 1 smoke remaining, but I don't see this being a massive issue. There's the smoke. Molotov on site as well. And maybe a kill here to kick things off the USP, but surely they recover this. TYLOO, 1 player to find. James might be able to get 1 kill here, but Attacker got us into the fact there could be a stack on this bomb site, and it looks like the bomb we planted at this stage. Round over, 1 kill found, and at this point, any sort of kill would be acceptable for AVANGAR.
Yeah, absolutely. Some are down, but somebody's going to get Fitch. Still nothing further at this point in time. Nothing to lose for Kikert. He might as well try. Playing the box as a headshot position means that he therefore gets the benefit of the box as armor, if you will, and Attacker doesn't really mind running closer with the Mac 10, even jumping to get the shot. So TYLOO take the lead. The first lead they've had all game. It's round 17 finishes. 2 timeouts remaining on either side. It's TYLOO that used them very early on, both in the first 6 rounds. AVANGAR, we talked about this in London, and we touched on it again on day 1. They are going to use all 4. They always do. Thankfully, they didn't use them too soon, because now it looks like they're going to need them.
Well, they're a very young team. They have some great individuals, but their approach certainly needs some work. So the coach needs to get stuck in as much as possible. TYLOO, for me, it looks like they've done enough now. They're so comfortable as this game is developing. They're going towards A, and this is a very similar approach we discussed in the first half. This gun round is always difficult for the CTs. They have bare bones utility. If you send 5 players to a bomb site, you're trading out kills, you should be able to answer back and get that bomb down. Kicker opens things up. You can see so much utility deployed. Will Fitch want to push this? He'll drop the flash and try and go through potentially here. Bomb goes down, and now they've got a retake again with no kits.
Fitch wants to swing. He does have an inkling. I didn't think he had any idea whatsoever that somebody was going to be so close. Still couldn't find a kill. Buster's got him back, but that's based on the information. Sure, sufficient trade. Still haven't cleared out the crossfire potential that exists to protect this bomb, and they won't be able to trade on Buster immediately, which means it started to favor TYLOO. It's all on Excurate. It's fallen on his shoulders. He's got a hold for one. He's got that already, and you're right, time is now on his side. 28 HP only. Doesn't need to force the peak, though. Just wait for the player to enter. James not going to do that. He wants to save the AWP.
And that's why you make those 5-man set piece plays on this particular round. They didn't have a defuse kit there. The bomb gets planted, you get some trades. They actually had the man disadvantage there. They wasted so much time there dropping the smokes, the Molotovs, making sure they were in sneaky positions there, so no multi-kills could be found. And even in the 2 versus 1, it looked like there was a chance, but no kit, 10-second defuse. All James could do is hold on to the AWP, and that's what he did. So they'll have a fighting chance in the next round. We'll see how much they decide to buy as the loss bonus starts to rack up here. I'd assume they'll go Deagle, Armor, and the AWP, and there's some 5-7s there as well, but pretty much exactly that. And the AWP goes towards B. Now this could be interesting, but the smoke and the usual procedure to get this side of the map has been deployed, but James pushes in front of it. He knows he needs to find a frag here, Matt, and he probably gets the one, not even that, gives up the AWP. This time you just slow it right down. Oh my goodness.
Wow, okay, don't slow it down at all, just runs directly in.
You just want to try and get that AWP or AK out of the map, reposition, and know they've got nothing left now. You've given that AK away, it made things very awkward for yourselves. That was not a call required there, pushing through the smoke alone. Uncharacteristic. TYLOO haven't made those sort of mistakes so far.
Buster could rotate off this as well. If you wanted to think of that one gun as being dynamic as an op normally would, you find one pick, try and change it up and switch it around. Problem is that it's so early in the round that it is just an AK-47 that's been garnered. There's no guarantee they'll shift over toward A, but they certainly have. I wouldn't have minded seeing Buster just book it back over to A at that point.
Let's see what he can do. Fitch has been impressive in the individual skill department. Smoke might be a little bit too late. They're going to push through that, I'd imagine, as the Molotov comes through, and indeed they will. Not going to let him get comfortable there. And it looks like they've recovered the situation. Could have got a bit dicey for them at TYLOO. Going to get this bomb planted. Managed to stay calm. Just one moment of panic when they pushed through the smoke. That was about it. There is an AWP available in B storage, and they've got it as well. So I feel like the play I wanted to see, you get that opening kill, you take down James AWP, everyone just holds. You do the 30-second rule, and everyone just waits for smokes to clear, see what the reaction is. You throw a weapon out the map, recover the AWP, and make sure that can't be recovered. That should have been the main protocol there. A mistake was made, and then you just got to focus on winning the round. So they will let Risen and Buster save the AK and all, which was brought in, and actually leads with an extra rifle.
Yeah, and an AK at that on the CT side. I mean, this is as good as it was going to get this round for them ultimately. And another round for TYLOO nonetheless. But we'll see if that costs them. I mean, watch those two guns. If they pick up kills in the next round, that wouldn't have been otherwise. So it could be significant down the line. It's still very much a close game, despite that AVANGAR has not picked up a round in this half. We're just getting started.
Oh, we absolutely are. Crack starting the show. This was the play that made things a little bit awkward.
There's by the way, it's just a very small style of play, but there's one-way smoke you can play on that small pit.
Okay.
That I'd love to see somebody bring back.
Fitch has won 6 of his 8 opening duels, and that's why we've seen it look so promising at the start of the game. You have to remember that was against probably in the pistol round and some of those anti-ecos. The rounds that really matter when he went down first, is that's when it started to look a little bit odd. This is going to be the bomb. Sent towards Squeaky Door, 3 players in total. I assume it is Smoke Highway, and they go off this.
Do you want more to your point?
Go on.
About the fact that they've been peaking early on, and especially in the first half with Fitch going out and no utility. You kept saying that. AVANGAR have 0 flash assists in this game. TYLOO have 7.
Well, there we go. That's quite a scary prospect. There's the Molotov towards middle, actually lands towards sandbags here. Just to show a bit of presence. They're going for an A split. Like we said, there's no smoke at highway. I'm surprised at that. You can see how detrimental that is to them. They're pulling it back, but it looks like the round is done. They were going for the surprise attack there, not trying to telegraph their play at all, but it looks like this one is absolutely out of reach of Summer. That nade takes him down to 1 HP, so he just wants to plant it. That's even possible. And the flame
Interestingly, I think he thought that was going to land on default,
I
so
thought
he
it was
backed
as well.
into the flames.
That's weird.
He might have gotten away with the plant. I don't think there was any. With 1 HP, if you hear flames, you're just going to panic. So there's no way he was going to do it, but it's finally AVANGAR responding. And again, it's the weapons that they pick up that start to matter that and make the difference. Mind you, the AUG did most of the work, but they still have those in their hands. In fact, they picked up more AK-47s to be carried over this time.
One smoke towards highway there wouldn't have been a massively telegraphed approach. You could have got that down just before the door opens and then at least segregated some of the CTs and not had that easy access from Forklift. But still, TYLOO taking the timeout now. 11-9. A lot of the game staying on the full distance, especially that Vitality on triple overtime in the first map, Inferno. AVANGAR with their first round after going down 4-0. Money actually pretty decent for them. Remember, they didn't win an eco, but they managed to come out of it with an AK and all. That saved a lot of cash, so they're looking relatively healthy. Chance them to get back into it now. Can they find double digits as TYLOO look to focus their efforts towards A once again? All 5 players heading that direction at least for now. Are they boosting up? They are not focusing towards A main. You might want to double nade the entrance to stop the push. Double flash, and they're going in for a fast approach potentially. Taking a lot of damage there. My goodness. Attacker and somebody down to around 20 points of health. And we making his way towards highway. A very fast pace.
James trying to turn it around. He wanted to speak highway, but he knew that A main was a bigger threat. It cost him out in the end, but not so much for Fuster. That's Fitch and Buster together. They look a little flustered now, though, because Bintet's got the kill back bomb to go down. And at 2-on-2, they've already got A main covered off, and it's the wide plant, meaning that is an extremely potent position. Bintet, not sure which way to look. He's not wrong to suggest they might be pushing Forklift and trying to segregate the two of them, but it's all for naught, and it's immediate traded back toward Ixgrid as well. I'm surprised he's peeking in that, really. Considering Krizen got the shot way over toward highway, and he had A main where the bomb is.
Just feeling that wants the shots, wants the kills. Didn't land that time, and it comes down to the 1 versus 1. Bomb planted, and we'll see if that's enough to give the terrorists a chance of a buy here. They're averaging about 3k, but Benta has 5, so they could buy this if they want to, knowing they got it down to 1v1, but I wouldn't recommend it at this point. You allow the AVANGAR to go 11-11. Just get the partial buy with the pistols, perhaps some armor. This was brilliant for Summer. He got 2 very quick kills there, but Fitch and Buster spraying them down from highway, and indeed the bomb set itself, and it all finishes off with that 1v1. Krizen, easy finish. He got 1 smoke. Surely goes towards highway. And they'll try and attack as that nade lands at the feet of Bentep. Takes a lot of damage for it. So 1 smoke, a flash. Try and get the plant down. Maybe a bit more if they get a couple of lucky digs here. Smoke goes in towards highway. The Molotov quad as well. Here's the flash and the final play, but Picard looking very comfortable. Those flames not touching him, and he'll be absolutely fine here. Good shot. That's what we needed from TYLOO.
Absolutely is. James still trying to spot through the smoke, wait for it to clear and maybe get some vision. Perhaps Bintet as he rotates back, exactly that. James already had that position covered, no transition required. Somebody's going to stay in behind quad. Summer forced out by the Molotov, also met by Krizen. James once again on the up. James a star. We've already identified that, but this guy's really going to be making a mark over the next year, I have a feeling. Being quite vocal now as well. We know that he was doing some in-game leading for a while.
He was actually benched earlier in the year as well, in 2018. So it's marvelous to see him come back and
well, and that's kind of why I led to that, because to see him vocal again now, when he came back from being benched, he was in-game leading beforehand.
Sure.
He wasn't when he came back, and that was what yesterday the manager, or maybe it was day one of the two, was saying that's what really allowed him to develop his game. So to see him talking so much during the timeouts, obviously he's rounding back into more of that role again.
Well, it seems like this CT half is more suited for his skill set, having a lot more impact with the AWP. We did mention a few times in the first half, didn't really seem to find much at all. But coming to their own, they've tied it all up, 11-11. TYLOO starting to drop off. They had the great start in the second half. And now, Excurate with the AWP. This is more of a default. They've tried a lot of fast approaches towards A. A lot of gaps in the strategies on both sides. Just 1 or 2 smokes or flashbangs in certain positions could have saved them. Somebody lining up the Molotov towards the vent here, just to flush anyone out there. I don't think there's any presence in the vents at all, but at least eradicates the risk. But that's a nice incendiary in response. Jame will hit the first shot. Attacker goes down. 5 versus 4. And at this stage, flashing towards middle. Boosted player there, presumably. Not quite, actually. So that flash won't do much for them, and they do throw it over. Now, 5 on 4. They have 2 smokes remaining, a few flashbangs. And at this point, AVANGAR look very comfortable. 2 players on A. Defensively, and they'll focus their efforts towards middle. TYLOO just going to see if the orb can do any damage here, but once you have this advantage on the CT side, you don't necessarily need to challenge middle that much. As long as you got it covered, you got 1 player watching the vents from connector in a very passive angle, the orb watching towards highway, everything is covered essentially. Here comes the smoke, and Kirk and defense sense something is afoot here. Drops the incendiary to focus towards A main.
Good find from Kiekert, 2 from quad already. Wants to go back down toward highway, and James gets that information sufficiently to take out Summer. Somebody just says, screw it, I'm out. Shut the door. Forget I ever knocked. Try and just stay alive with 5 seconds left. Into the corner. AK to hold. AVANGAR's turned this around quite significantly. Once the guns came out on the CT side, we go back to them now in the lead by 1.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice CT play from them. Like we said, giving up middle once you have the advantage is a very strong call. It's a difficult part of the map to hold, and it's not a bomb site, so you can allow them to have it as long as you have the information, and more importantly, the AWP towards quad watching highway. Exactly what they had, and Kicker, as soon as he detected it was an A attack, drops the incendiary towards Squeaky Door. That's 7 seconds now, he can focus. Look at those flames in front of him. He doesn't have to worry about that player swinging out. He'll have to watch his teammates get mowed down by the AUG. Luckily, no, 3 bullets to the body with the AUG will find the kill, so it's a very, very powerful weapon in that sort of position when you know they're coming, the time's running low, and you almost have the advantage with the incandescence of the flames there as well, just shrouding your vision. As we'll see a buy come through from TYLOO, actually. I'm surprised at that. What's the overall look at it? An AK there for somebody. Did I spot a MAC-10 as well? Some Deagles, CZ, and Bente has got the MAC-10, so they've actually invested pretty much everything they've got into this round. A attack again. They really want to make this work. Kick up. Might be boosted up. Is he alone on A? He is. So, makes noise. Not sure that was intentional to bait them, but right now looking uncomfortable. Needs to get the hell out of there.
He's going back around, Kicker. Finds one already, an extra bomb as well inside, but inside of the site where they're going to go either way, so that could be recovered. Not if Fitch gets in position. He certainly has. 2 kills on the way through, 13 to 11.
Looks a little bit touch and go there for Kicker. Trying to get himself into not the boosted position, but on the barrels, and missed it, made a sound cue, had to run away, scramble towards the bomb site there as he retreated, but he managed to get a kill with the AUG, finish it off with the USP, and his teammates just in time to back him up, drop the flames around and guarantee a round victory, and more importantly, no plants, because that was essentially a force buy, and it has to be another eco for TYLOO here. Someone's gone for the tactical purchase of the AK-47, attacker with Deagle armor. They'll have buy next round. Objective here, get the bomb down if possible. They've got very little to no utility of the 2 smokes, and you can see Kicker really feeding it now. He's played a very defensive A site. Last round, a very aggressive one. This time, taking full control of A main.
James not peeking as of yet. Breaks the vents, perhaps trying to bait them out. Hasn't worked for him so far. There is one, obviously, as we can all see on top of the boost. Clearing the close angles, they can now probably, presumably, focus on James. He's actually going to book it out of there already, play the high side. So once again, they'll give up mid, this time not with the advantage. Smoke off on Fitch. But this looks like B all day long. 3 in front of the vents. Take advantage of the fact that that smoke's down. Fitch won't be able to see above it. Outer vent blown, inner one not, is now. Crizzen, horribly blinded, but Buster I don't think was, so they'll hear it either way. They're certainly ready for it. Molotov was in position as a result of that. Crizzen, he's still trying to catch the backside of the cross from B main as they slide one into headshot as well. 3 on the site, great rotation. AVANGAR was 1 step ahead the whole time, and really not much TYLOO could do. They don't even find a single kill on it.
Nothing really done there at all. A pretty lackluster approach towards B. Remember, they only had Deagles and that 1 AK. This does nothing for them, though. The AK is designed to crack open the site, maybe just get the plan out of it. Not necessarily to win the round, but to get you close to it. And AVANGAR looking very comfortable. Great utility usage there. Incendiaries towards checkers. That's such a powerful spot. You can just focus towards the B main. And now, is this the tactical timeout called? Not quite. AVANGAR, though, homing in on victory. They really have woken up since they've stabilized their economy. Look how much cash they have. Even after the reinvestments, they have, what, 3 players and 5 digits? It's not bad at all. TYLOO detecting that A pressure once again. This time, nades and smokes just to stop the CTs pushing in. And they might rotate back towards middle and focus on that area. Bentet's worried that a CT could go for that smoke. AVANGAR seem to be the sort of team that'd be happy to make that play, but no one there right now. It's actually James who's got the AWP. So they'll play towards middle, which is fine. As soon as he feels uncomfortable, he will fall back. But now, smoke down towards the entrance. He can focus on the boosted spot. And this is all about Crizzen now. Needs to be baited, and he's a little bit of backup from his teammates to make this position really work. He's got the AK. That's why he's feeling confident in those 1v1s.
Confident indeed. Summer still waiting as well out toward Toxic, see if anyone pushes around. Hasn't been a lot of aggression from the CTs on B, but with 3 players there again this time. One already on box from Chris, and he could push through. Excurit's got James. That's the first time they've got the mid pick against him. Crazy how this game's changed. Looked like TYLOO had everything going for them once they pulled back from 8-2. Got it all the way up to 8-11. 9 rounds in a row, and then now it's just fallen shy yet again.
Well, they have the advantage here. Bentap, checker room, and look at that CT. Oh, Krisen almost gave that kill away, but it's all a ruse. You can see the bombs going down towards A. Look how many CTs there are towards that B bomb site. He actually gets no kills there. He takes everyone with him as Summer just locks them in the B side. He might get the 3rd as well. He didn't, but he has won the round. That was a really, really nice play from Bentet. The fact he kept everyone there, they were convinced there was a B attack there.
Solidly done. That's going to give TYLOO a bit of a lifeline. They're still not playing for overtime. The win is still possible. Dual AK saved over. I assume you're noticing it. I'm sure other people are too. That's not a server issue. The animation was being queued, and I'm sure someone was tapping it over and over again, waiting for it to get the call.
I liked it either way.
I liked it too. A little remix.
Yeah, exactly.
DJ.
14-12. TYLOO, is that their first round after losing 6? They obviously won the pistol and got that 4-0 start in the second half. It was looked like they were in cruise control. But AVANGAR have woken up, but that's the first time the streak has been broken.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, if this game didn't have that massive start for AVANGAR, if it wasn't for the fact that TYLOO was slow to get going, it might be a very different picture right now. But that still may not guarantee the win, considering now how AVANGAR is adjusting and playing on this CT side. I want to play for here. As we noted before the previous round, AVANGAR have got absolutely tons of cash here. And they managed to save an AK as well, a couple of them actually. So it was Summer that shut them down towards the connector, but they felt like it's not worth trying to challenge him. Let him have the round. We've got the lead. Keep our money strong. Keep those AKs up as they buy up into this one. And we'll see what they land with. The double orb set up for the first time on the CT side for AVANGAR. It will be James going towards middle once again. Throws a smoke, and it's a solo procedure to get the Molotov down as well. Excurit spots a CT. He's got this kill. If Buster wants to check any further, he's ready for him. The timing, though, on that. The moment he takes his scope out of position, that's when Buster peaks. You got to be gutted with that one, but luckily they pull a kill back. AWP available. Summer's going to grab it, so they'll recover it at the very least. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The timing, that almost sucks. You almost feel bad. Molotov through the open door. That'll push somebody back slightly. What it does do, it's not so much to take position away from him, because he'll easily walk back up afterwards. It pushes him back far enough that James can do this with the AWP. He starts to peek in toward A main. They should be aware of the fact that it's possible, but still they've got to hit the shot. He does that against Attacker instead. Somebody could catch them in transition back toward the site. That's the goal, but that's why Kickard also sat at forklift the whole time. Very smart design. Jump across. Somebody sees it, but it's not going to help him in terms of getting tons of information. He just knows there's a couple of players towards A. That's about it. 4 versus 3. They still have utility here. That's for CT Spawn. Molotov for the bomb site. You can see those markers there. Very easy to remember. Oh, well, I say that. The Molotov doesn't even land. Yeah, those markers, those rusted rivets in the wall, they're almost too easy. By design to like kind of give you some very much cues. A Valve decision, and FMPO&E putting that on this version of the map. James peeks again. Summer standing in the open. 20 seconds left. He was just checking to see if they were there. Certainly they were, and they still are. They'll take him down. Bintet's swung out on James. 9 seconds left. Krisen's got an incendiary. He's not in position to use it. He is on the flank. Buster's got one on Bintet already. Somebody's got to play tight at quad, and Krisen's got the nade on top of him. It's all about James that round for me. Great stuff with the AWP. Managed to get the opening pick, moved over to that MBK position, hits the all-important shot, and that's when absolute chaos ensues. 10 seconds remaining at that point. They have to make their way towards the side. They took James down, but there's enough time for his teammates to rotate in, get the flanks going as well. Grenades landing left, right, and center, and somebody did some great work towards Highway to actually give them a fighting chance there. With the flank too much, Buster recovering the AWP. He got 2 frags himself, and Krisen finishing things off with the HE. And it's going to be 15-12 to AVANGAR.
Bomb planted means they get a pretty decent buy here on the TYLOO side. They're lucky they got that bomb down because they would have been broken without it. And it's map point here in the best of 3. This is our 2-1 game. Whoever comes out on top in this series goes forward into the next stage of the tournament. That's Molotov off for now. Doesn't want to use the smoke to get that one way. He's happy to wait, re-peek it, potentially with a flash. Takes a bit of damage, but he's still in position.
Buster still holding as well. Tighter angle. We saw Excurate use this in his own last time by, but he still is to the right side of the doorway, which means he can fall back. They're going to know he's there. Falling back, smoke already in place. He'll safely get to the corner. Interesting decision for the AWP. And he will safely rotate back in. He wanted to just stay tight to the wall so they couldn't wrap behind him. Missed Molotov again. That's twice. They're not even aware that that missed. So be cognizant of that when they walk in. As soon as they identify that that's a problem within their strategy, which they still may not, given that there's a smoke down on top of the site, they're going to realize what that leads to, and it leads to AVANGAR picking up the round because they couldn't distill the players on top of the site. They are now one map away from qualifying into the Legends stage.
What a roller coaster of a game that was. It was so back and forth. The loose gameplay of AVANGAR got on that fantastic start. It looked like they were unstoppable. TYLOO woke up and brought it back to 8-7. It looked like the game was theirs at that point. It was a weird one. They get 4-0 in this.